Good afternoon and welcome everyone. We are back with another Super Series Tuesday. So we have taken some time out and we're listening to our audience, we're listening to our clients, we're listening to just the people in the community, and they want to know about real estate investing. So, our series is surrounded around real estate investing 101. So, you guys have told us that you're interested in investing in real estate, and we are here to answer your questions. Today, I am joined by my lovely co host, Miss Erica Rawls.
Hello. It's nice to be back, Stephanie.
Yes, I'm so excited for this series because investing definitely adds to our wealth and helps line our pockets and leave something for us to share with our family members. So, we want to discuss to you guys today about real estate investing 101. And today's episode is going to be about the different types of investment opportunities. So, Erica, let's go ahead and get started and let's just dive right into it. So, what reasons, have you heard people wanting to invest in real estate?
Yeah, so the biggest one that comes to my mind is when someone says they want to build wealth, they want to leave a legacy, or they want to build wealth for their family. That's one of the best ways that you can um, build that wealth is by investing in real estate. It's one of the most tried and true way to invest your money, knowing that you're going to get a good rate of return. Based on the time frame in which you're going to be looking to hold your money. So it's a long term game, and I think it's well worth it. But that's the biggest one that I know of. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I agree. I mean, it's one of the safest ways to invest. So, it has the least amount of risk, and you'll definitely see the return on your investment. And like you said, it is a long term game. And for those who are interested, are definitely wanting to, have this a part of their financial portfolio.
Yeah. And then another one would be control. If you think about it, when you deal with real estate investment, you get to control the outcome. For example, with flipping, as long as you know what your amount that you want to spend, you have the right schedule set up. You can become profitable. So you get to control that. Unlike the stock market, you don't really get to control that, right? You have a financial advisor or a financial planner that's going to be controlling that money for you. So control is another one.
Definitely have more control because let me tell you, I don't know what I'm doing with my stocks, and I don't have someone that's going in there, taking control for me and
Yeah.
pinpointing where I should invest. So it's definitely risky when you're talking about stocks, and the newest thing is the cryptocurrency. So all of these things are very risky, but you do have more control and it's less risk involved when you're talking about real estate investing. So I am always talking about investing in real estate. And one thing that I wanted to get into personally is, the home flip.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, talked to some friends of mine, and, that's something that I'm interested in. Now, I don't know anything about, personally like doing renovation
Yeah.
and, I can do small things like painting and things like that. But when you're talking about replacing countertops and now I have worked on replacing flooring and things like that. So I definitely have an interest in doing the renovation projects. But of course, for me and a lot of people, they would need to have a team available of reliable contractors.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think HGTV, I mean, you have your fix and flip shows. That's really going to, it adds fuel to people's fire or their imagination. Like, okay, I need a creative outlet. Some people just want to invest in a property because so they can release their creative outlet. And it's great, but it's also risky because if you don't know what all it involved, you could actually lose a lot of money. It is a great investment and it is a great way to release your creativity, but you have to be smart and wise about it for sure.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, HGTV always gets me fired up, especially shows like, with Chip and Joanna Gaines. I mean, I love their show, and, it makes me want to
Yeah.
redecorate every time I see it and, do some renovations in my own property. But of course, when you think about reality, people don't realize that, hey, that's a show. these things are scripted, and what you see is not always what you get. So, just being aware, and like I said, having a team of people that you trust is really going to go far when you're in this flip game, because I've heard a lot of horror stories where people have worked with contractors that they don't show up, or you have in some cases, when you're new and you're just starting out in this business, the contractor may say, hey, okay, I need this amount of money up front, I need this amount
Yeah.
of money, but they have not done any work, and then they continue this cycle, and then you're thousands of dollars into it, and guess what, no work has been done. So these are things that you really want to do some research on. Do some research on the people that are in your area, get some reviews,
Mm-hmm.
find out what work they have done in the past, and do not give them all of the money up front, because people are scammers. There are scammers out there, and they're looking for someone that's green and that's new to this, and that may not know, hey, let's see some work being done first before I start giving all this money away, because this is a part of your investment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. That for sure. And that's why flipping's not for everyone. The fix and flip is not for everybody. So, and the beauty of real estate investing, there's so many different avenues in which you can take in order to invest in real estate. So, that me personally, I'm a buy and hold. So again, I would love to build my portfolio when it comes to building. There was a time that I did that, sold it all, and now getting back into it. But the holding is, I like to see it as a long term game. Yeah, long term for sure. In
So
renting.
let's just talk about that term. So when we say buy and hold,
Yes.
you're buying a property and you're holding it, but you're also making money off of it because you're leasing it out to, another party. So
Mm-hmm.
when someone says, "I want to invest," and I'm going to do a buy and hold, that's exactly what you're doing. So some people become landlords, and that's their form of being an investor. So they buy the properties, they hold them, and then they lease them out to a third party so that they can receive the funds and profit off of that particular investment. So that's different from a fix and flip. Of course, the flip, you're going to fix it up, and the flipping part is you're selling it. So
Yes.
you're going to sell it for the after repair value. So, of course, when someone says terms like after repair value, you may hear someone shorten that and say ARV. So, if they're talking about the ARV, you know that that's the after repair value, after renovation value of the home, once you have put these things into it. So if you say, hey, I'm going to renovate this house, and just know that there's levels to achieving that after repair value as well, because the
Yes.
least amount that you do, that's going to be the least amount of value that you receive. So just keep that in mind, and that even goes for when you're buying and holding a property and you're wanting to lease it out. So if you're fixing it up to hold it, you want to ensure that you are in line with what the current lease is going to be in that market. So of course, if you're fixing it up and you
Yeah.
do the lease, you're going to get the least amount of monthly rent for that particular property as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's important overall when you get into real estate investments, you do your due diligence. It's important for you to take your time and don't just shoot from the hip. Really understand the market or align yourself with someone that does understand the market, and also align yourself with an investor, someone that has done it before. In the areas in which you're interested in, whether it is to fix and flip and or to buy and hold, and there's also, I'm sure we're going to get into it, other investment opportunities too. But it's important that you get involved with someone that already has done it, so that way you can save money, and your learning curve is going to be that much shorter. I mean, you can go out there and you can learn it on your own because there's YouTube, right? But it may not be specific to your market. It may not be specific to the type of property that you have. But it's important that you find someone that knows it, that's fluent in it. Yes, knows the trick of the trades.
So, Erica, in your market, what would you say is, a better opportunity for someone thinking about investing in real estate? Would it be a fix and flip, or would it be more on the buy and hold side?
Probably fix and flip. Actually, both, and here's why. So fix and flip because we have low inventory, and depending on the speed of your purchase and turnover, as far as rehabbing, you can make a lot of money in our area for sure because of the low inventory, and depending on the location.
And won't you tell the audience, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Tell the audience what area you're in, so they'll, have an idea of what that looks like.
Oh yeah, so Central Pennsylvania area, we are a lot. I would say a lot of people from out of town. I mean, we have people from Houston area. We have people coming from California. We have people coming from New York, New Jersey, because they see the opportunities that exist in the Harrisburg area. Now, for us to be so small, I believe it was 2 years ago, we were rated in the top 10 cities, yeah, to live because our the cost per square foot and the cost of living is so low. It provides a great opportunity. So we do see a lot of investors coming in, big time investors coming in to purchase home and to rehab our houses, and then to put them back on the market. Then there's also opportunity on the rental side, and that's because the cost of rents are going up. So if you find a great property, you could easily make a lot of money. So you have to buy it at the right price. Both of these, right? You have to be strategic and you have to have a systematic approach in which you purchase your homes, or you're not going to make money. It's about where you purchased it in the beginning is going to determine how much money you're going to make on the back end. So just remember that. But for the rents, they're going up. They're going up, and I think that's about the same across the United States as well. So, yeah.
I agree. Home prices are going up, the rents are going up, and anyone that is interested in purchasing a home, whether you're a first-time buyer and that's going to be your investment, or whether you're wanting to purchase a home as well as an investment property at the same time. So I know that there's opportunities in different areas of the country where there are multifamily properties available. So
Mm,
that's a different type of opportunity that someone, especially a first time buyer, if they are in an area that has a lot of multifamily properties, they can purchase a home under the 1 to 4 and still, use a regular FHA or conventional loan to purchase.
mm-hmm.
And they can also live in one property and lease out the others.
Yes,
Whether it's
great
a
point.
duplex or a triplex or a fourplex, they're able to live in the property as well as make money off of the property. So these are some other opportunities that are available to those who are interested in investing but not sure what to do. And you've also not purchased your first property. So if you haven't purchased your first property, this is an opportunity for you to purchase your property as well as become an investor at the same time.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great piece of advice, Stephanie, and one that should be shared across the board because there's so much opportunity in growing your portfolio, your investment portfolio, while you're purchasing a home and finding homeowners and buying into home ownership at the same time. So, yeah, I love it. Yeah, love it.
Absolutely. That is something that, here in Houston, there has not been a lot of opportunity to purchase multifamily. However, I have seen a lot of builders, invest in, making that available for the community now. So I know I've seen a lot in different areas, like on the East Coast, that there's lots of opportunity to purchase multifamily properties. And I think that's a good idea to share because sometimes people don't know that, hey, the money that you're making off of your multifamily units, you can use that to pay your rent. So
Mm-hmm.
you're really living rent free and
Yeah,
making money at the same time. Or you're living more, you're not paying a mortgage, you're using the profits and the proceeds from your rental properties to pay
yeah,
for that. So
yeah,
then that will allow you to have more money saved up and then eventually purchase more property, and that's another way to build up your real estate and investment portfolio.
Essentially flipping the script. So instead of paying your landlord, you're buying a multi unit, you're becoming the landlord, and you're having your tenants pay. Yeah, just flip the script. So if you think about it that way, that's just, just make it most viable and most profitable for you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, when we talk about different opportunities, and we did mention, the stock market. Now, you can also invest in real estate in the stock market. So for those who don't want to necessarily get their hands, involved or boots on the ground,
Yeah.
you can invest in different real estate opportunities via the stock market. So
Mm-hmm.
that's other ways for you to invest in real estate. But if you're not interested in actually becoming a landlord, or if you don't want to go through the whole flip process, there are lots of opportunities where you can invest in real estate via the stock market. So if you just do your research, or like Erica said before, get a financial advisor to assist you in which real estate, stocks are the most profitable, or something. And those, I believe, are something you can do for long term as well, where you can invest in that and still see a nice return on your investment.
Yeah, for sure. And then one that we might be missing too is wholesaling. No one likes to really talk about it because I think it has a bad name for it. However, there's an opportunity for wholesaling a property, right? So, how it works is you essentially are going to be the middleman between the seller and the new buyer. And how do you make money? You make money off of the service that you're providing to both of those clients. Now, there's a lot of wholesalers that will actually take both sides of the deal, and that's how they're really profitable. But just keep in mind that's another way in which you can actually make money in real estate. Yeah, not spending any
Yeah, I
money. So that's the
agree.
best way we're
And
not spending money, Stephanie. Yeah, you're not spending any money. You're
right.
making money.
And one key thing for someone to know about the wholesaling, you do not have to be a real estate agent to be a wholesaler.
Right.
So if you're wanting to get into real estate investing, that is something you don't even have to go to school for. You don't have to have a license. So you can be, a consumer, and you can start wholesaling. And, that's another way to invest in real estate. So that's a good point, Erica. And yeah, we don't point that out, because that is another process. So not to say you don't have to go to school, but, there is something that you want to learn about the process. So like we said, there's YouTube out there, or you can find someone who's already in the wholesaling business, read
Mm-hmm.
some literature on it, because there are different tricks and tips and trades for you to learn that process for it to be profitable for you.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then you can get into the commercial. That's probably the last one. You can get a commercial real estate. You can invest in that. And that's a whole beast in itself. So, in the over the series, we're going to be focusing on residential real estate investing. However, that is also an option as well.
Absolutely. So it's so many different opportunities available for you at different levels.
Right.
So people think that, oh, it's a bit overwhelming, but it's so many different levels for you to start. Like I said, if you want to just begin on a level where you're just investing money and not actually investing time or any sweat equity or something like that, you can invest via the stock market.
Right.
But I would say, I'm like you, I'm more of a fix and flip or a buy and hold type of person. So that's where I would want to, focus on, my levels. So
Right.
I'm currently, I've done the buy and hold. Now I want to get into the fix and flip. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where my next, and like I said, there's things that you can do to evolve in this whole real estate investment process. So I've purchased my first home. I purchased a second home. I purchased a third home. So then what do? So you just want to build on that. You want to build on your wealth, your financial portfolio, your real estate portfolio. And for me, now the next step would be to start the fix and flip process.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And then please keep in mind, look locally as far as investment groups. because they are coming up all over the place, where you can actually get involved with a group of people that are putting their money together, crowdfunding, and they're starting to invest as a group, because it'll just make your money grow or go further once you get into these groups. But please, again, you have to do your homework just to make sure that it's on the up and up, and you're not going to lose your shirt in the long run. And also understand, if there's a contract, what are the terms of those contracts? Like, what's your obligation? Is it just money? Is it time? Or is it a combination? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, Eric. I didn't want to get too involved in that because I feel like we would talk about that on our next episode when we talk
My
about
bad.
financing your investment. Because, but no, but that's also a different type of investing because people
It
are not
is.
aware that they have these investment groups out there. They don't know about what crowdfunding is. And so that's definitely a different type of investing. And it's something that the audience needs to know about. However, we will dive a little bit deeper into something like that when we talk about the financing opportunities that are available for these projects. So,
Okay.
but it's definitely something to put out there, and we want people to know that hey, there are certain groups out there. There are investment groups. Do your research. Google can be your best friend. YouTube is your best friend.
Yeah.
Find out what's going on in your local area. Find out if there's someone out there that's wanting to revitalize a community. And there are groups that are out there that take up funding just to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what's coming up next, Stephanie? Do we want to run it down? Are we ready to do that for the next episodes
I
coming
think
up?
we should because this is definitely going to be an exciting series. And I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be sharing all this information with you guys. So, on episode 2, we will have a special guest, and it's going to be Bridget Job from East West Bank. And she is going to talk about some of their products that will assist you in funding your real estate investment. And we're just going to talk about different types of funding and different ways for you to fund your projects, and one would be, of course, the crowdfunding. And we'll just dive a little bit deeper into different ways of funding your real estate investment projects.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's going to be next Tuesday. Yes.
Yes, that'll be next Tuesday at the same time, same place. We'll see you guys live. Erica, do you have anything else coming up?
Yeah. So this is going to be a 4 week series. And what I need for everyone to do, because it's been a while since we've been out here, we want you to share this or sprinkle it across Facebook, aka Meta. Yeah. If you could just sprinkle it, spread the word, because we're going to have some dynamic people that are going to be included in this series. We want everyone to get a piece of it, to learn. That's what this platform's for, is to teach and to elevate. So we're hoping that you would join us. Yes. And I'm done. Stephanie, what you got? We out?
Yeah, we definitely have some exciting things. Yeah, well, you know what? You said it best. We have some exciting things coming up, guys. Like, follow, share. We want you to share this with your friends, share this with your family, share this with everyone you know, because everybody should be investing in real estate. Let me tell you, you don't want to not be a part of a movement that will help you, will help your family, will help leave a legacy for the people that you leave behind. So ensure that
Yeah.
you're investing in real estate, invest in the land, invest in properties, whether it's residential or commercial. This is something that is available to you. So don't let anyone tell you that you cannot be a homeowner. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot buy property. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot invest in real estate, because there so many resources, and Housed in the Car is a resource for you. We are here to spread the news, and we're sharing this with you guys for free. So share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your colleagues. If you're a real estate professional, share this. We do have some exciting things also coming up for our real estate professionals with Housed in the Car. So continue to stay tuned, continue to follow, continue to be involved. So we will be out in your community very, very soon.
Yes. Thank you so much. So we are going to end this. And thank you so much for being with us. And until next time, we will see ya.
Thanks, guys.